How do you prepare for that? How does Spain prepare for that and Europe more broadly?
Well, it's a pleasure being here. Thanks a lot for inviting me. I think what we're really seeing now in Europe is we're taking conscience of these geopolitical context outside of the EU, this race for competitiveness, and we're getting ready for it. That would be my quick answer.
You're getting ready for it. Well, you know, Donald Trump and Joe Biden have something in common, apparently, and that's tariffs. As the president promises a significant increase on tariffs against China, should he be reelected, I presume that's something we could see. Donald Trump is talking about across-the-board tariffs on a number of things. What would it mean for the EU? What would it mean for Spain?
Well, from the EU, what we need to do is, I think, to balance our bet for open trade and for a rules-based multilateral system. But at the same time, we need to keep on pushing for our economic security agenda. And in a sense, I think this would put on the table something which is very clear for us now, is that we need to be open for foreign investment, and at the same time we need to protect our companies and ensure that that they're treated fairly, both within and outside the EU. So let's not be naive also in terms of doing the proper screening of those foreign direct investments to Spain, but also to the EU.
Well, something the EU has an active review ongoing, and we could see preliminarily announced next week, is tariff decisions on Chinese-made electric vehicles. There are Chinese companies with factories in Spain who are trying to make electric vehicles in your country. How do you view specifically the Chinese EV tariff question?
Well, as I said before, in a sense, there are big competitors outside, which are also somehow providing us with key inputs into the value chains of those very important industries. So we need to keep this balance between being an attractor of investment, but also protecting our strategic companies within key industries. And of course, the EV industry is one of the key elements going forward in terms of keeping our economies into the right track in terms of decarbonization as well.
Our markets today are celebrating the latest reading on inflation, which has been dogging this president and our economy since we came out of COVID. I wonder your thoughts on the trajectory of inflation in Spain and the EU, as the president says that we're better off when it comes to high prices than the rest of the world. Is he right?
Well, what we're seeing in the EU, in the euro area, and in Spain as well, I think it's a long-term trend of moderation in inflation. In mid-22, we were in a two-digit phase in terms of inflation, but this is going down. And what the ECB and the Bank of Spain expect for the euro area and Spain is this magic 2% figure for 2025. And we're getting there gradually. And this is what is also allowing the analysts to expect also some cuts in terms of interest rates from the ECB in the next meeting.
Well, interest rate cuts usually come either because inflation is going down or because something is getting damaged within the economy. It's weakening, therefore you need to ease policy. Do you expect we'll see any weakness in GDP? What are your forecasts for growth this quarter?
Well, the Spanish economy is actually behaving rather robustly. When you look at our growth performance, not only in 23, but also in this beginning of 24, we're outperforming our main peers. And this is also, I think, reflected in the outlook from the main institutions, be it the IMF or the European Commission or even the OECD. What they expect is Spain to grow above our main peers, which is France, Germany or Italy, around 2%, both in 24 and 25. And which is more, when we think about our growth pattern, is that it's a balanced growth pattern because it includes, as we said just before, a moderation of inflation and also some a key element, which is fiscal responsibility. And this package actually is what will allow us also to keep growing in the midterm.
There's some uncertainty over whether Spain will have a new central bank governor by the 10th of June. What's going to happen?
Well, we will have a new central bank governor because the current governor's term is ending, as you said, on the 11th of June. Somehow it's not a hard deadline. We have the vice governor who can actually take his place in an interim way while we decide on the new figure. But for sure, I think the person who will come after Pablo, who's been an excellent governor, will keep up to the standards.
But isn't this a little bit of a delicate moment to have uncertainty as to who's helming the Spanish central bank when you were just talking about the idea that the ECB could be about to start cutting rates? We could be entering a new cycle within monetary policy. Is this really the moment to have uncertainty around that?
Well, it's the normal process. We have to replace the current governor, so we will do it in due time. And I think the fact that we follow the current process will not imply anything in terms of our clout and the impact that the new governor will have in the decisions of the Governing Council of the ECB.
You referred to the magic number of 2%. We hear a lot about that magic number here as well. If it requires magic, do we need a different number?
Well, magic maybe in our imagination,
yeah.
As we were somehow very far away from it during the pre-COVID period, where it appeared really impossible to catch up from below, and now we're getting there from above. But I think maybe this soft landing prophecy that we are seeing now, which is apparently becoming true, is leading us towards this magic number.